Hey everyone, this is Sir Balo, and for this video, we're going to continue what we left, which is nandito na tayo sa block builder, dito sa view all expenses page, and so far we just made some placeholders lang temporarily, no, because we're going to create widgets for each of these if-else conditions, depende sa state, no. And we'll start with the expense loading, no. So punta tayo dito sa presentation, and we're going to create a file, no, and we'll name this as although technically this is a widget, no, presentation. Usually widgets are created in the presentation, but I would prefer to create this at the core folder kasi, as I mentioned in the first video sa injection container, no, that yung mga source codes that you insert in here, you create here, are gagamitin siya ng, or one or more files are dependent, no, sa mga dito. Like for example, yung injection container, this will be used by your feature number 1, your feature number 2 na mga files, no. So we're going to create a folder, and I'll name this as widgets, and then I will create the widget here, but later we're going to import that. Itong i-create natin dito sa widgets, we will replace it dito sa placeholder. So yeah, right click and new file, and then this is for the loading state. So I'm gonna name this as loading state circular progress, because there are different progress indicators. Merong linear progress indicator is just a line, but this is a circle, which is commonly you can see in most applications. It's like a circle that's rotating clockwise, or was it clockwise or counterclockwise, but we'll see that later now. So first is we're going to create a type stls, and the reason na stateless kasi this is just wala naman siyang dynamic, na it doesn't have a state, no. We're just going to display this, yun lang, a circle na umiikot. So stateless siya na widget. Whenever you create widget, tapos constant lang or final na yung or isang beses lang mo siya ipapa-rebuild yung widget, so stateless siya. But if you want that widget to be rebuilt as many times depending on a certain state or variable that changes over time, like yung nakita niya with the view all expenses, so yun. Okay, so wait lang ha, let me just rename this, and we'll type loading state circular progress. Yan. Okay, so the next is we're gonna replace this with a center, tapos yung child niya is a column, and you'll see, you'll understand bakit column yung natin, kasi we want this column to be displayed at the center, so that's why we wrap it with a center. But the reason of column din yung gagamitin natin is because we're going to display our children's in a vertical orientation. So now for the column, is going to ask for the first children, which will be displayed on top, no, pinakataas, is the circular progress indicator. Then we will follow it up with a text that just simply ano lang, is a static text lang na loading, please wait, period. And then that's it. Oh yeah, then we're going to test this. We don't want it to test it pa integrate natin dito, but we would just want to display this widget individually, no? So in order for us to do that, we're going to create our void main function, then run app. Then of course, if you're gonna run an app, it should be material apps. Then oh yeah, don't forget semicolon. Now within the material app, meron siya mga properties la home, and this is where we're going to put our actually we're going to put it in a scaffold, no? Then yung body ng scaffold, dyan natin ilalagay yung widget that we just recently created, yung loading state na circular progress. And then we're going to run this, start debugging, and it's going to create another separate browser, no? Since Chrome yung yung current device niya, so it's going to create a as you can see, this is still working. Hindi ko pa to na-stop, and I don't want it to be stopped para hindi na ako ma-delay sa pag-develop, no? Besides, you cannot pag may error yung code nyo, you cannot hot restart or control S. But once nawala na yung mga errors, then tsaka pa lang siya magre-refresh. And so yun, ayan na. So nagdi-display na siya. Di-display na yung pangalawang browser. And I'll just leave this one minimized lang, no? Running in the background, no? And yeah, ito na yung itsura ng natin. And of course, we're not yet done with this. Kasi again, this is the column kind of looks like this. Parang may rectangle yan na invisible. And by default, lahat ng widgets will be placed on top. If we want na nasa center siya, we're gonna have to configure yung main axis alignment, and then main axis alignment center. Now you can control space this naman, and it's going to give you a couple of options. You can play with the values right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yung options natin dito. But yeah, since yung goal natin is to put it at the center yan. So dapat center yung pipiliin natin na option. And yeah, there's this weird magkadikit sila yung circular and text, and we want to add a gap between them. And this is where the size box comes in. This is often used for adding a gap or distance between widgets para meron silang parang there's makakaginhawa yung natin. Just like when you're writing an essay, you usually add margins, and you separate yung paragraphs mo with space. Yun, so yun, hindi na siya parang masikip tingnan. It looks better. So this is what it would look like. Pwede na naman it depends on what you want. Pwede na naman loading, or kayo na bahala yung what's gonna be the text in here. But yeah, this is like the simple way to display a loading state dito sa application natin. So before niya i-load tong list view natin, while it's fetching, or while the domain layer is doing its job, the qubit is going to emit this one, and you will see that by let me just copy, and I will paste it right here. And it's gonna be error kasi hindi ko pa yan na import. So I'll click that one, just add lang a const to remove this blue underlines, and let's save. So I'm going to choose the other. Yan, so yun nakita nyo, right? Before siya na-display yung list view, yung ano muna, ito muna yung bin-display, yung circular progress na loading state natin. And yeah, now this is just the simplest way to display a loading widget, but there's another common another approach or another style or preference, no? And you can see this in you can see this sa mga tawag ito, sa YouTube, sa Facebook. There's this mga rectangles na color gray, and then they are shining, parang silang nagsi-shimmer. Yun yung tawag sa effect na yun, nagsi-shimmer sila. And I think it's much better if I will di-display ko na lang, or we will create that. And that was the purpose of the shimmer. That was the purpose of this shimmer dependency that we include. This is for the loading state na widget that we're going to create using this. No? So in the widgets, we just new file. We're going to create loading state, but shimmer, and then list. So yun. If you're going to name your files, you have to be specific para hindi, so that you can easily remember, ito pala yung purpose ng file na to. This is a shimmer and list. So yeah, wait lang. Just like what we did kanina, stateless. Again, we don't have a state variable that changes over time. Isang beses lang tayong magre-rebuild. Now, once this widget is displayed, so yan na yan, final na yan. Let's see. So this time, instead of I will delete everything. Ito lang, no? Then shimmer, then from colors, which is linear, base color and highlight color. Yan. Okay. So yung this is how the shimmer effect is gonna be achieved, no? We have the base color and the highlight color. Yun. Then yung child, we're going to create, wait lang, i-save ko muna to. Ay, hindi siya so I have to specify pa pala. Okay. List view builder, then comma, kasi I'm going to specify the item count, then I'll make it 5. Now it depends on how many times your list view will build its children, pwedeng 5, 6, but for me, I'll just set it to 5. No? Then as for this one, delete that, control space, tapos choose this one, yung my open close curly brackets. Save that, and then okay. Now for the item builder, 5 times natin siyang ipapa-render, ipapa-build ng list view lang. And this list view, meron siyang leading container. Sige. Then title, Oh, sorry. What list view? Sorry. List style pala. Kaya pala nag-error. Sorry. Container. Oh. Container. And then last subtitle. Now for the container, we're just going to create height niya is 64, width niya is 64. Basically, I'm trying to create a box, and yung color ng box na to is white. Colors that white. I'll just copy paste this kasi the only difference lang naman nila is the dimensions. This container is for light lang 16, and then the width is 100. For the subtitle 80, and then 50. So this one will look like a rectangle. Ito square siya, but actually once we render this, it's gonna look different, and you will see that later. Now for the base color, for the effect natin sa shimmer, this will be colors gray, then 300. Tapos just add lang tawag exclamation para mawala yung error niya. Eto ganun din yung highlight, but we'll make this 100. Yan. Okay. So now nag-grayish ano siya. The child argument should be at the last. O edi ano, yung gagawin natin, we highlight everything right here, you cut, and then put a comma right here, paste the child sa pinaka last, and yun, that's pretty much it. And so we're going to display this, and we're going to test this one individually lang. We're not going to integrate it sa application. So we'll just copy this one and then use this one instead, and then we test it out. Again, this will create another as long as hindi nyo pa to na close, it's going to create another Google Chrome browser that's going to display this widget alone, no, para makita natin kung ano dun yung itsura niya, because we don't know what's gonna ano lang, basically nagta-type tayo, but we're just merely imagining yung gusto natin, but we haven't really test if tama ba yung imagination natin to what it will look like in the actual, no? So now we're just going to wait, and this is what it looks like. Yan. So this is what the shimmer effect means. Para siyang kumikinang. Yan. And this is the leading. Hindi siya naging 60 itsurang square, although 64 yung height and width ng container. This one is for the title, and then yung baba is subtitle. But I will try if this will mafi-fix ko siya with the size box. Not so sure, but hopefully this will fix it. But if hindi, yeah, I think hindi siya, no. And it's probably because of the title siguro. Well, let me know if you could figure out how to restrict, kasi yung idea ko talaga is I'll just make a short rectangle, then yung subtitle mas ano lang. But yung nangyari is the list style somehow na-stretch niya yung container, which is not what I intended supposed to be. But anyway, what matter is we have displayed a shimmer loading state. So this is another alternative that you could use, and I can even add more. Yan, so parang ayan, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 na dummy squares para kunyari to give the users idea na this is what ano yung expected na itsura niya, no. You'll see this often in Facebook and YouTube, no. There's displaying some dummy mga squares and rectangles just to represent lang text, no, kunyari, or this one represents the image. So yan, yeah, that's pretty much it with the loading state. And I'm gonna use this because since we are loading a list, so, and this one kind of looks like a list, diba? So we'll use this instead. And of course that's gonna error. Now nagyayelo to kasi I have etong library na to, ay yung package to is useless, hindi na siya na used, no? So I'll just delete that and I will close this. This is already good. So we're done now with the loading state, no? The next is yung loaded. We're actually not done yet nito kasi there's a chance na yung state, and I will just type na lang yung code, no. If yung state natin expenses is empty, meaning to say wala siyang na-retrieved, although it was able to successfully communicate with the database, but unfortunately kunyari na, no, wait lang, close ko lang to. Wait lang ha, let me just go lang yun. Okay, so there's a chance that hindi naman to mag-fail kasi doesn't mean na walang list, failed siya. The only time that we fail or mag-error is due to a server error, hindi tayo maka-communicate or walang internet. But let's say was able to communicate with the database, but unfortunately blanco to, like totally just like this budget, no, walang or yeah, I will delete this. Yeah, we have a collection but walang documents yung collection na to. So yun, in other words, empty siya. So pag empty yung or wala siyang na-retrieve na documents, yung expenses is 0. We're also going to display an empty state right here. So we will return accounts, placeholder lang muna to because that's what we're going to create next. If this is true, return this, but if this is false, do this instead. It will return a list view builder, which is yung inyong nakita nyo, ito. Now that's the next task. We're gonna create in empty state na widget. So let's go back right here. So widgets natin, and the new file, empty state, but this is intended for list, no. Then stless state list lang, empty state list. Okay, so for this one we'll replace this with a center, and then child is column, children nya will be, and so just like what we did with the loading circular, no, yung mga widgets although they are arranged vertically, lahat is naka-center. So we will use this one as well sa column before sa children. Okay, yan. Then for the children, first is this is a common practice, no, in displaying empty states or even error state, no. You display an icon so that alam ng user ano yung nangyayari. It's much easier for him or her to know ano yung nangyayari because meron siya nakikitang image. Okay, so I'll make gawa muna ako ng ano, wait lang. I'm gonna create variables, image asset name, final string title, and then final string description. So it's gonna error kasi all final variables must be initialized. So you just click this quick fix and then add the final field formal parameters, itong tatlo na to, and then control save. So yan. Okay, now why did we create these variables or these attributes for our empty state list? And you will know that right now, no? Kasi eto, this one, yung image natin, this is an asset, right? So it's going to ask for the name of the asset, and I want this one to be dynamic so that pwede natin siyang ma-recycle, no? Wait lang. Yan. Yung width, and then yung width niya is 100, and then yung height niya is 110. The constructor being called is constant. That's weird. Quick fixed. Oh, sorry. Kaya pala, sometimes yun, if you encounter errors, you scroll down sa baba kung ano yung suggestion niya. So yun pala, I forgot to remove yung const dito. Yeah, and the reason for that is once you introduce a variable inside a constructor, hindi na siya ma-consider as a constant, no? So after the children, after this image asset, the second children sa column is a sized box whose height is 16. So again, we're trying to make a gap, no? Just like we did kanina with the loading circular. Then this one is a text whose content na or text that you display is yung whatever value is ng title na variable. And again, we'll create na lang tayo ng size box to so that for every child, eto yung may every children na importante, yung image, yung text, and then another text, there's a gap between them. Hindi sila didikit, no? And this one is going to display the description lang. So yun. Now we just created a empty state that is dynamic. We can use this anywhere in our code, any feature where you need to display a list view of items. So yun, and how we're able to do that is we just created this variables, tawag nito attributes, and we assign them sa image. Itong image asset, ito for the title, and so whatever is value nitong tatlo na to, yun yung i-display niya. And so let's test this, no? Create main and then paste, tapos empty state list. Now mag-error pa din yan kasi hindi pa natin nasasali yung yan. Now the image asset name for this node, we have to provide an actual image talaga na asset. And what do you mean by image na asset? What we're going to do, we're not gonna run this pa kasi kailangan kasi natin mag-provide ng actual file, an image somewhere. And if you haven't created a folder, you can actually follow na lang yung ano yung gagawin ko. But normally or typically practice, no, is you're going to create assets na folder. So in your terminal, I don't know if I will just zoom this, mkdir space and then assets. So this command will create a directory on the Flutter projects expense tracker mo. Dyan yan may insert. Same level sa lib and Android and build and other folders right here. Once you hit that enter, it's going to display right here. So yun. Now for the assets, we create a folder na naman and then we type images. So the assets contains anything, pwedeng documents, pwedeng CSV, pwedeng dataset models. But yeah, if you want to categorize pa yung mga assets mo, you can create a subfolder, images in this case, because we're going to insert not just one image but two images. And the first is actually meron na akong mga dito. Wait lang ha. I've already downloaded error and empty na pictures. You can copy that. Ang weird. Copy, and then in your image, you right click image. Okay, hindi siya magpe-paste, but as long as na-click mo na yung image na yan, you type Control V, hold the control and then tap the V sa keyboard mo, and then you just simply paste yun. So we now have two pictures or images Flutter project natin, but we're not done yet kasi hindi pa to recognize ni Flutter unless we declare that dito sa pubspec. So we have to find the moment we tawag nito, we scroll down, you need to look for this one. Ito to, assets. It should be after the Flutter na section. Then you tanggalin mo lang yung mga dito, yan, yung mga comments, itong hashtag, no? And then you supply with the easiest way is just simply click this and then copy relative path, yan, and then paste. Now medyo iba nga lang yung ano niya. We use this slash, no? Itong na slash. Okay, not this one, this one. Copy, paste, error, and then make sure to save. Control S, and then for some reason this will only work if meron kang internet. I haven't like explored it paano ko ba ito without basta isi-save mo to siya tapos meron kang internet. And then now we can use those files that we created, itong dalawa na to. But since this is for the empty pala, no? Empty state, I'm gonna type the location of this one. So this is located at assets, images, and then you write the name of that file, is images, and then empty dot png. Then for the title of the error, or the empty state na error, oops, there are no expenses here, tap if you're going to display a single quote, so make sure that yung pinaka outer na string is double quote. So tap single quote plus single quote. Yeah, that's how you're going to display a single quote in your string on Flutter. And then save natin yan. And we're going to test it out. So take note, I just run it again, and this will create me a new browser that's going to display itong empty state lang. And again, everything that alam ko na yung paglalagay dito because I've already done this. But yeah, usually you start with your imagination. You imagine if eto yung gusto ko na arrangement, I will use column, blah blah blah. Of course, once you display that, you have to double check kung ano ba talaga yun. So nasunod naman so far yung gusto natin. This is what we want, no? Naka-column yan, so all widgets, the first one, the second, and the third, and other widgets, they are arranged vertically. And of course, this is the first children. So syempre, ito yung pinaka top, and then followed by size box, then text, size box, and then text. So for now, I want this to be the header. Ito yung pinaka head, no? So gusto ko na palakihin to. I want this to be bigger and bolder, but we'll deal with that in our last video na, or last part sa video, which is about theming, adding themes or styling your text, no? But let's just leave this as it is. So far we have accomplished what we want. Now the question is, where did I got this? Etong picture na to. You can actually just do a simple quick Google search, error state icon, and then free for error states. These are free, hopefully. Itong nakikita nyo sa Google. Then meron ng empty state, and you just look for icons, and then yun. So i-download nyo yan, and then of course you copy paste that to your Flutter project. Okay, so this one, we're going to apply this to our view all expenses. We will replace this placeholder, and then mag-error yan, so quick fix yan. Oh yeah, sorry, meron pa palang mga required na mga. So of course, let's just make sure that yan. Okay, so naka-blanco pa siya, right? So don't worry, we're just going to copy paste na lang ito para madali. And yeah, that's how we're going to solve that problem. And so now I'm going to use this same state, no, empty state list, dito sa pinaka last because we are required to return a placeholder widget. So ilalagay ko lang to sa pinaka dulo. So that bale, this is intended for initial states, initial like kung nag-false lahat ng states, hindi siya expense loading, hindi siya expense loaded, hindi rin siya expense error. Kung wala talaga, you print this one instead. Parang siya, parang silbing initial screen na i-display ng application mo, an empty state. So we're down to the last one, which is yung state to display an error, and this time this is much parehas lang with the empty state, but yung pinaka difference lang niya is may button tayo na ilalagay, and once that the user clicks that button, it's going to do something. So now let's go back to our widgets and then right click, new file, and then error state list the type. Yan, and then we just lang simply copy paste everything. Okay, so i-delete ko lang yan na lang. I will rename this to para safe, ko na lang, delete ko na lang everything dito. Maya ko na lang siya gawin empty error state. Then you make sure na error state din to. Yan. Okay. Now another difference din sa kanila is I also delete ko to, and since this is more an error, we'll turn this to a error message. And the third variable or attribute niya is a void callback. So when we say void callback, is just a function. You can actually set in the Dart language, you can set functions as an object also na attribute din siya. This will make sense later once makompleto natin yung code, but yeah, in a nutshell, this is a function na object. Oh yeah, so this does not exist. Yan. Save, and that's it. Now this is a center, but there's a chance na the text that will be displayed in here, kasi error message pwedeng mahaba yung error message, so you'll see this later but for now we're going to change a couple of stuff in here. This one gagawin ko tong right after the image, I will follow it up with a constant text na something went wrong. And then yung text nyo sa baba is yung actual na talaga na message. Ayan, dito title. This message. Yan. So error message yan. And then okay, so let's try to display this. Oh, wag na lang muna. Sige. The next is we're going to create an outline button. Now this is different from an elevated button kasi yung elevated button is itong outline, like yung button mo is all white but meron siyang border not shaped like a button, tapos yun yung naka-colored. On press, you just delete that. Whenever you encounter something on pressed, on tap, these are like callback yan ng mga callback ng mga functions. And then you choose this one kasi meron tayong instructions that we're going to execute. Oh hindi, wala pa kasi yan lang muna. And then yung child is sorry, mali pala. On press is asking for a function, and we just created a function to avoid callback, so yung on retry yung ilalagay natin dito. For the child, this is just typically text lang naman. Kumbaga yung text na i-display natin sa button na to. So try again. And okay, let me check lang kung may nakaligtan. Okay, so I need to provide a comma para ma-arrange siya. And then last two text or contact support. Na itong sige, explain ko na lang mamaya right after ko na. Okay, so now I'm somewhat finished, pero let me just display this para explain ko sa inyo yung concept behind this. Okay, so empty error state. Now this image asset name, I'll turn this into an error PNG. And now to make sure also that this error PNG is existing talaga sa assets image folder mo. It's no longer, wait lang, eto error message. The message niya is no internet. Kunyari lang to yes. Yan lang. And then may error pa to kasi we haven't included pa yung on retry. Save, and then on retry magdi-debug print lang muna ako para makita nyo how it works. Okay, so let me see. Invalid constant value. Remove constant. Okay, so dapat wala pa lang const dito sa material. So yan, let me just save. Ano nangyari dito? Okay, nakalimutan ko pala yung comma. Yan. And let's display this by clicking the start debug. Okay, so yun. So this is what it would look like. Ay, sorry, parang may mali yata. So far, tama naman. We have a size box dito for distance, and then something went wrong, and then no internet connection. Okay, so I forgot to ano pala, provide a size box para may distansya sila. And okay lang yung na medyo magkadikit kasi they are related naman. These are two actions that the user can do. Na itong construct support, pwede naman tong ano, if the user taps this, parang ano siya, parang may action na mangyayari pag kinlik niya ito. But I prefer not to include that lang. But depende sa inyo. You can actually use also a text button. Yan. That's also another. But in difference nito is let me just quickly demonstrate lang. It's pretty much the same as the pretty much the same with the outline, pero yung pinagkaiba niya is ano ba to? Yeah, tama. Dito ko const. See. So yan, this is what would look like. See? So yung outline button is a button na may outline. Yan. Etong text button is just wala. Or pag if you are using browser, no, yung app mo naka-display sa browser, yun makikita mo yung shadow pag na-hover mo yun, pero hindi siya halata if you're displaying this on mobile. Now, as what I've said, we're not done yet kasi there's a chance na itong message na to magiging mahaba. So far, no issues kasi no internet connection. Short lang naman yung ano niya. But let's say I'm going to display a longer text. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, and I will repeat this let's see twice, no? And let's see if yan. So sometimes there are messages that would take 2 sentences long. So, yeah, nakita nyo na medyo pangit siya tingnan because wala siyang margin right here. Wala siyang space right here. So, what we're going to do is this column, no? We're going to put it in a padding. Tapos 8 yung default na binibigay niya, but we can also adjust it naman. Yan, so slightly medyo ano pa rin. Maybe we should put it to 16. Yung, by the way, yung mga dito yung mga pixels na you're going to set when it comes to like padding, a margin, divisible by 4 or 8. Yung advisable. So yan, eto so far slightly ano pa rin, maybe 24 will do the trick. Ayun, so okay na siya, but ito naman yung we need to fix to kasi naka left align yung text, no? So we go to our message and we configure the align, text align nya. We type text align center. Yan, so okay, so that solves our problem. And now actually hindi pa pala tayo tapos na. Oh yeah, tapos na pala, no? Now let me just lang ito hindi naman to importante. What we are after is itong outline button. Kasi pag pinest natin to, is going to call this function, na whatever function na pinasa sa kanya. Yeah, this is a function. So in our example testing, no, we provide a anonymous function where yung instructions niya is to debug, print, reload the page. So we can actually see that right here. Make sure lang nasa pinaka last yung scroll, ito pinaka last, and once we click, let's see if it works. Oh yes, hindi natin makikita yan kasi dark chrome kasi, so we choose the other one, dark chrome 2. So yun, as you can see, it works, and I click that, magiging 3 yan, 4 yan. So gumagana siya basically, kasi the purpose kasi nito is if we click the try again, we're going to render this sa i-combine natin yan dito. If ito nag-error, we want the user to click this and it will refresh again, or it will reattempt to fetch again yung list of expenses natin. Yun yung purpose nito. So yun, now we're going to use this empty state right here, and so we just simply copy, paste, and then of course, ay, ba't pala? Ay, okay, quick fix. Okay, add requirements, add required. Yan. Okay, so let me just enter const, no? And for the image asset name, we'll copy kung ano yung ginawa natin kanina, copy paste lang natin. Okay, so hindi na to siya wait lang. Ba't ganun? Title is required. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Ano pala? Hindi pala to empty state. This should be error state. Sorry. Error state. Mag-error yan, no? So quick fix, import, and close ko to, sorry. Ito yung copy natin. Then paste, and that's it. So mag-error to kasi may const. Yan, that solves the problem. But let me just check lang yung reference ko kasi this is not what we want. Yung error message, of course, we don't want na ito yung i-display niya talaga. This is just a dummy, no? Diba, yung error, expense error, if we check it right here sa qubit, no, it has a message, no, na attribute. We can use that. We can access that. So yung gagawin natin, yung error message should be state that message. Yan, para dynamic yung error message na i-display niya. But ito, steady na yan, error.png. Now for the on retry, what we want is, wait lang ha, let me just double check my reference. Okay, so what I want this is I'm going to trigger again this one. Yan. So kakopy ko yan and paste it right here. Okay, so again, if in case na mag-error yung something went wrong sa pag-fetch, it will display this, and yung button pag kinlik is going to again fetch all expenses. Yun, that's pretty much it. So we're done now with our three states that we created again, yung empty, the error, and then the loading states, nasa inyo na lang yan, which you're going to use, circular bar or Shimmer list or whatever. Ikaw bahala, basta you provide the user states that para loading state para hindi siya magtaka kung bakit hindi gumagana or bakit matagal na nag-display yung data niya. So I'm just gonna close this, and that's pretty much it for this for the view all expense, and that would be all for this video. And yeah, we're not done yet kasi meron pa tayong, of course hindi pa tayo tapos with the other, kasi view all pa lang yung na-create natin. We're gonna create the other pages for the other CRUD features, like yung add, edit, and then yung the delete we don't have to create for that. View is yung view expense pero for a single, kasi so far we're just displaying the list of expenses, but what we want is pag kinlik ito, magde-display yung full details ng expense. Makikita na doon yung description, yung date, yung petsa, yung category, all details. Kasi dalawa lang yung pinili yung natin. And we don't want kasi the users to be overwhelmed na lahat na lang ng mga attributes i-display natin per item, per card, or per list style. Yun. So, yun, that will be our next task that we're going to do in the next video. So that will be all, and see you in the next videos. Bye-bye.